Hey y'all, what's up? It's your boy Evan. Welcome to the Cartoon Block, and today I'm going to show you how to draw the Clown Prince of Crime. That was kind of creepy. Okay, let's go ahead and get started drawing the Joker. So I want to go ahead and start with drawing an oval shape or circular shape for his head. And you want to go ahead and kind of cut that in half, vertically. And then cut it in half again horizontally. And because his head is a sphere, which all of our skulls roughly are, you want to make sure it's, you think around it and think of it as a three-dimensional object. So his nose will be extending from that center cross in the center of his face here on his skull, and bring his big old nose down here. And then we're going to go ahead and put in his cheeks. His cheeks will kind of like come from the nose, that crease in his nose line, because he's going to be grinning. Notice how I draw his big old like grin down here. It's almost like a triangle with the tip being down there near his bottom lip and his lower jaw. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting in fleshing out more of the construction of his head. I'm going to put the guideline around there representing where his teeth meet, where his top jaw and his bottom jaw meet at. And then we're gonna add in the other side of his lip and add that down there and kind of extend the lips and stretch it. Now with Joker, on a regular person, you can't extend the or push the facial features that much. But with Joker, you can definitely do it. He is like the goofiest, character out there. And it's no problem if he doesn't have like standard traditional facial features. You can give him, just make it cartoony or whatever. So now we're going to start working on let's start working on some of that eye area. And for his eyes, simple check marks. Boom at the very top, half circle at the bottom, and then kind of roughly put in like half a pupil and just darken it up. Makes him look more creepy. Hello, boys and girls. Boys and girls, if you see somebody like this, it's a child predator. Run like crazy. So now we're going to go ahead and put in the other one, his right eye, which is further away from us. And you're going to make the same features, but make them just slightly smaller. Then quickly throw in his eyebrow up here. And like the lower the eyebrow, the creepier certain characters look. It's like, oh, they look kind of creepy. Who wants to be... You can't trust anybody who has like this like low brow and looking kind of suspicious. Gonna add some few wrinkles around his skin and cracks in there. Joker needs to go out there and get some like moisturizer and start using Dove soap, because his skin kind of jacked up. So speaking of which, is Joker's makeup, it's never done like the best in the world. It's always just like slapped on there and thrown on there. So who does his makeup? Is it like those women at Bloomingdale's or Macy's? Or Robin's Brothers, like those Robinsons, who makes those those women at the makeup counter. Blah. So he needs to stop hiring those high school girls doing his makeup, and he needs to get some professional people, do his makeup and stuff like that. So now we're gonna start putting in his lipstick. So, and make it kind of darker down here around the edges. And let me get in here a little bit more. Kind of work out this. Now we can go ahead and dive into the teeth area. Now with his teeth, you want to go ahead and make sure you draw them once again going around in like a rounded formation. Think of the mouth as going around the skull. Too many people draw mouths as being flat. Mouths are not flat because your jaw is rounded in the front. So now we can go ahead and start putting in the lower jawline. And the lower teeth are not as wide as the top teeth. So we can go ahead and start fleshing that out, making sure that you are going in that guideline, in that formation. Now we can kind of start fleshing out his gum line and making sure that gum line extends down to his chin line. And start putting in his, color in his lipstick. We can give him like black lipstick. In fact, that's kind of interesting, wearing black lipstick, He kind of almost resembles, what's that rocker's name? He has like a female sounding name. not Macy or something like that. I forget, some rocker. It'll come to me later. So I'm gonna flesh out his ears and give him a little earring right there. He pimped out, Joker, pimped out. And which is this kind of looking was inspired by the Suicide Squad film. So that version of Joker, the Jared Leto type Joker. But I still prefer the old traditional Joker with like the over the top tuxedo like we have down here, and we can put in his wild hair going back. I love doing his hair. It's kind of like in flames or something like that. It's like he's prim and proper, like a gentleman. Dun, 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 dun. But it's like, you're just a freak. So he really is a freak. And we can continue going in here. You can see me use like the whiteout to kind of like give some corrections. I'm gonna quickly just shade in. I want a coarse shadow in the very front of his face. And characters that have that coarse shadow look kind of like they have something to hide sometimes. But then again, you also have heroes who have that coarse shadow in front of their face as well. So it's not like everyone's like Superman, you know, with their face all lit up. That's kind of like the old school way of doing things. And using my pen, I'm just gonna quickly darken in more areas on his face, give him some more wrinkles, and just add a cast shadow below his chin down here, a coarse shadow in front of the rest of his body. And me put in some shading for his teeth. So the teeth aren't fully white, but we can go ahead and start blending in some like light shadows. And I'll go ahead and quickly remove that old guideline we have there. So when drawing with a pen, you have to kind of like be careful with it and stuff like that. But yeah, Joker is something else, you know. He needs to start using some Dove soap or oil of Olay to get rid of those skin cracking and all that stuff. He needs to do something. So yeah, that's where we have it at. And a little bit more shadow won't hurt. And some cracks in his forehead, around his brow ridge. And time to bust out the power pen. So as you can see, we can go ahead and add some more white highlights. It's my favorite part of the drawing time. And put a ding on that earring, and there you have it. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you want to check out the full step-by-step edition of this tutorial, then click here and go to my Patreon page. When you support me on Patreon, you get access to a bunch of other cool content and just insane material. Also, if you still need help drawing your own superheroes, click here and check out my superhero mini course. Also, the links are below. Now, question of the week. Who's your favorite comic book or movie villain? Let me know in the comments below. Till next time.